Well, don't do that.
Well, and then I was like, well, if you keep touching it, it's never going to stay in there.
What in the world?
That's how you lose earbuds. So,
Just don't touch it. It's not going to fall out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome back to the Flannel Panel, everyone. We've had a fun few days, more than a few, I guess you could say.
Over a week.
Over
like
a week. Has it
9.
been? Let's add this this family member to the stream, I guess you could say. The title. I didn't even give you guys the title or anything, did I? Whiskey Family. Troy turns a new leaf, and the 12 Days Crew or something like that is the thumbnail. So
real short one.
Yeah. My browser couldn't hold it.
Yeah, fair enough. So we got Clint, who is part of the 12 Days Crew. We got Conway, or MFer, as he's well known for, joining us tonight. Jason's at work. Ty's at a kid's Christmas concert, and people are all over the place. So it's going to be a fun one. What's going on?
The holidays, man. It's been crazy.
Has it?
You've been on like world tour, Troy. Like,
yeah,
like
I've
you've
had
been every Christmas party like in most of Ohio, I think. Right?
It's 65 days of vacation.
I've had four parties. Yeah, I'm back to work now, but I wish I wasn't.
Huh? You had the line of the century the other night, though. And we'll reference this on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
About the smelling the samples?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whose was that? Was that Casey's?
I think it was Casey's. Yeah,
that's right.
He sent a wild turkey blend that, upon smelling it, I just knew it was going to be one of those nights. You know, it's like something tripped my trigger, and I just knew it was going to be one of those nights where I'm getting drunk tonight. So, yeah. Before I'd even tasted it,
he just smells. He's like, "This smells like I'm getting drunk." It was.
Don't make any plans.
Yeah.
That blend was crazy. That it's like, come on, man! Like the level of people that we have sending stuff in is just ridiculous. So we were like 9 for 9 as far as hitters for samples, but some of this stuff is just bonkers. Like Casey's, we blended 17 or parts of 17 different barrels at Wild Turkey, like
barrel strength of that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a thing you could never ever do now, right? Like, so
I don't know how you get access to that many barrels.
I think that's redacted.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't talk about
a boot.
Thanks. So, yeah. Anyways, and for those that don't know, we Corey and Jason or Jane, who has kind of spearheaded this, and there's 13 of us that get together and send bottles into, or hand carry, whatever you're supposed to say live on the internet, bottles into a facility, and they get sampled out by Jason's hard work, and then we all get to taste them. We jump on a Zoom call every night for 13 days straight, right?
Yeah,
every night.
Every night. It's a fairly lofty thing to do, but it's very special.
But it started December of like for real COVID, like December 2020. In December 2020, like everything was canceled, right? So we had like COVID and the lockdown and all that stuff, and then everybody kind of thought that it'd be fine by Christmas, and then like Thanksgiving and Christmas 2020 was like the COVID outbreak, shutdowns of all COVID outbreak, like everything was canceled. There were no Christmas parties, there was no company party, like nothing was happening. So that's why I was like, well, we'll just get our friends together and we'll do 12 days of Christmas, and we'll just log on and shoot the shit for 30 minutes a night and drink. And those went longer than 30 minutes in 2020.
Yeah, there was no pacing ourselves in the beginning.
No, not even.
They were like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Can make it work.
So it's gotten a little bit shorter as far as the amount of time spent, because we just can't. But yeah, I think it's cool that everybody's continued to want to do it. Now, year number 3, which is crazy. So.
Yeah, super special.
How excited do you get when your sample show up for the year? It's like a big day.
Oh, it's like a kid opening that thing up, and my wife making fun of me the whole time.
Yeah,
as I organize them.
And look at these.
And Jason,
holders we got.
Yeah, we've all got them right.
Look at that thing. Jason makes these, or not Jason. I believe it's Kim Schwartz, who is the does the handiwork with that stuff, who is a Flannel Panel regular. So if shout out to her. But yeah, some pretty fancy stuff, and I would also say like the bottle selection. So it was Eric's night tonight, and Eric's been on the Flannel Panel before. It was his night tonight, and he says like right after the 12 days or 13th day, he's trying to find that next bottle because it's like, what do I send? What's the story? You know, what's the pour kind of thing, and it's a fairly big ordeal.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, the evolution, though, that it's kind of gone from what's the best bottle I have to what's special for this group, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It quickly turned away from like some sort of like, what's the crazy allocation thing that I can find, or what's the quote, you know, what's the pricey number? And now it's 100% that, Conway, where it's like, what thing could I send that I know that everyone else is going to be like, okay, that's got a cool story, and I'm happy that I'm get a few minutes to be associated with it or be part of it, which is cool. And just thoughtful things like that, like you can't help but start to think that far ahead. We do an advent calendar with our whiskey group here, and it's like all year round. I'm like, ooh, is this going to make the cut for Advent? Is this going to be 12 days? Is this, I mean, that makes so bourbon hunting as a whole right now is kind of like frustrating, right? In 2022 compared to what you used to be able to do. This makes it fun because it's not like standing in line and or trying to win a raffle for a bottle of BTAC. It's like, what kind of cool single barrel or what story or what kind of thing am I going to be able to tell for my friends? And it just makes it more fun.
So does everyone try it? Did they know what they're sending? The first year I had not done, obviously I had not tasted what I sent.
That first year was,
but do people
cool.
typically taste it before they send it?
Well, I do, but this year I just had the one bottle, so I did not. But after I sent it, I tried a friend of mine's bottle, and it's good. It's just not my favorite thing. I don't know if but I just thought it had a cool story. And
well, Troy sent us a bottle that you found that was pretty special as far as where and when, though.
Right? Yeah, it was a bottle I picked up at the Beaumont Inn, so I thought we all have been there and friends with Dixon, so that'd be a cool one to share. So
it was a great one,
yes.
And a good pour too.
It was really good.
Cool thing.
Yeah, I kind of have a cop out because I'm the only Canadian, so I just pick something that's not readily available down south and say, "Hey, let's try this one."
You have managed to get everybody I know that drinks whiskey down here hooked on Alberta Premium, and I blame you in entirety.
That is true. Yeah. Absolutely true.
Well, it's good. It's good stuff.
I'm kind of like Corey. I did the same thing like all year long. Like, oh, this is really good. Oh, maybe this is a 12-day bottle. Oh, I don't know. And then I'll try to remember it. I'll remember, and then when it gets down to like October and it's crunch time, I can't remember any of them. And I stand there and I just look at the shelf, which ones, and then it ends up being kind of a clutch last minute. Okay, it has to get in the mail. I've got to do something.
Yeah,
and then it never works out as smooth as I think it's going to be. But I'm
looking at the bottles
I'm
is
kind of
funny.
constantly looking, unintentionally looking, and then I get impressed and go, "Oh, maybe that's the one," and then it ends up really never being that one. But
I know everything on my shelves, but I do the same thing. I look at them, I move them around, and
I even took a last-minute trip to the liquor store this year, hoping to find something magical, but no dice.
I like what you sent.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. Yeah.
Well, that was a funny story. That trip to the liquor store was right before we all went to Utah. So the only thing they had that I thought was kind of cool is I bought a bottle of Calumet 16. So I brought it to Utah and gave it to Natalie and Jason, and then one of the nights there, I got drunk and opened it up, and I think we drank about half of it while Natalie had gone to bed. So I feel bad about that. Like I brought it. It's like bringing a pie and then eat it all before they get it.
No,
I think that's part of the experience with the TEEZE.
Yeah, I think that was.
I mean, it was like the second day they had a chance.
You only drank half of it.
The whole time, Jason kept saying, "Open whatever you want." So, yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, Corey. So yours this year was like the ultimate story, I think.
Sure.
It was.
Yeah.
And super special because of that.
Yes. So when my like Eric Conklin is one of my best friends on the planet. So, and he passed away from cancer. He was going to come to Whiskey Weekend. He'd already bought a ticket, and he found out last November that he had cancer, and then it turned out to be pretty significant. And then he passed away in June. So he left his whiskey collection to the Wamigo whiskey crew, but he was like, "Here, you handle the distribution of it." So we took all his bottles and we stickered them up. We put a little Conklin sticker on them, and they'll be his contribution to our advent calendar that we do for years. So even though he's he's passed, he'll still have bottles to contribute to Advent, which would be sweet. So this year, for our Advent calendar, I took the 3 open bottles of Booker's he had and blended them together. So there'll be a Booker's blend.
Oh, wow.
His contribution. So
When's that going to be served?
on Christmas Day.
Oh, okay, I'm on my way.
I love that you guys can keep him as part of that.
Yeah.
That friendship that's really cool.
So we all have, it's silly, right? Like all the weird rules and stuff like that. But each person has their number in the group is as they joined. So Eric's was like member number 5, right? So when we do barrel picks and we number the bottles, you get your bottle with your number on it. So number 5 will also be his, but no one will ever be number 5 again. Like retired is like retiring a jersey. Like no one in Edmonton will ever wear 99 again, right? Like that's so that's kind of cool. But I talked to Sherilyn and his wife and a few other folks. I was like, I think I'm going to take one of these bottles and send it to 12 days, because so many of you guys like bought his shirts and like
For sure.
did shout outs and sent videos in, and the podcast guys, like, they talked about him on the show and stuff. And that was a big deal for him while he was in treatment. So I was like, well, that'd be kind of cool, because it gives you guys a chance to share a drink with him too. So that was pretty sweet.
Super special. It was super special.
I see Eric and Laura joined.
Yeah, Eric
Laura
and Laura
got
here.
handled.
How's the
Laura got
audio
flanneled.
working for you guys? Everybody's AirPods working all right?
They falling out?
Yeah, I'm just being really still because I don't want it to come out of my ear.
No jiggling.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually never mind.
Eric, have a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Don't mind if I do.
So tonight we have been talking about the 12 days, and you guys jumped on, and this was Eric's night, and he poured us. It's a Midwest distillery? Middle
West in Columbus, Ohio. It
Yeah.
was bourbon aged in a sherry cask. Or I'm sorry, bourbon and then finished in a sherry cask.
Yeah,
This
it's-
isn't the bottle, but this is what the similar packaging.
it's fantastic, and Troy's so proud because it's from home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Finally, Ohio is, getting a little good
Represented.
light for a change,
Yeah, their symbol's really cool because it's like the Wi-Fi symbol with a line through it. And
Like we don't need no stinking Wi-Fi.
One bar all the time.
that's right.
We're not pretentious. Dial up is good for us. We're okay.
That's what a Buckeye is. It's just the dot with none of the Wi-Fi bars above it.
So to reference this a little bit, Troy has been on virtual bar nights and all this stuff for a long time, and his internet sucks, or it sucked
Previously,
previously
pretty
sucked.
decent now. Yeah,
And it was referenced as Ohio internet for a real long time, but I think it was just Troy's computer and the way his setup was. So since he became the Flannel Panel mainstay, he's got some upgraded internet and some devices which can handle it. But
Yeah,
it's
fancy
always going to
mic,
be
the whole thing.
crappy
Yeah.
Ohio internet.
I don't know how many years ago that's been, but I had done nothing like this before. I've never FaceTimed anybody or anything. So this has all been a big learning curve here in Ohio. So
Troy used to be one of those Ohio Amish, but not any
Yeah.
longer. He's moved
those
on.
are good people.
He's
Make
actually
the hell
pedaling
make the
those
hell of a
lights on the
pie.
Christmas tree underneath his desk. He's got that one pedal bike, and he's powering up that.
You remember just this summer when I did 2 shows without electricity. Remember that?
That's true.
Yeah,
We did.
because the
During the
tornadoes,
storm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Corey's just like, come on, guys. Thor was a little
Listen,
one.
Yeah, you
like,
know about
tornadoes are
tornadoes.
dangerous, but just part of the gig.
They had some up near Conway yesterday.
Yeah, it was about 3 miles from our house. Total cliche. It hit the Walmart and the Super Walmart, so or Sam's Club. So
It's like they know.
it's
Yeah,
like they
tornadoes
know.
You
It's
just
like they know.
never get on the news and say what it sounded like. Just never. You never look good. That's
What a tornado sounded like?
just in general. You just if anything ever happens and it's a disaster and they ask you to talk about it, you just kindly say no and save face and walk away. That's
Not to
that's
be
life.
arrogant, but I do have more
life
than a
rules.
grade 3 education.
Yeah, I just feel like anytime somebody gets on the news, it's just so bad.
The worst, Eric, is always when there's something horrible happened and someone goes, "Well, he seemed like a really nice guy."
Right. You
Kind of
just
kept to
never,
himself.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
I feel like it never
Nope,
works
nope,
out.
nope. Just nope.
Or maybe they only air the ones. Like maybe that's editor's choice in there. They're like, "Yep, that's gonna."
It's the editor's taking
It's
satire.
gonna look good on the old
Yeah.
Facebook channel.
That sells it.
Yeah, this will be a click for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, we need a few of those.
Click it.
It's like the. Did you ever see the Hammer Kid
No.
at the
Not sure
at the
where you're
concert?
going.
He was. I don't know. He was explaining some sort of
I
attack
mean,
at
I
the.
feel like this motion
It was
online
this. It
is
was.
just not.
Oh,
Depends where you are, I guess. Yeah.
Well, there's no way that Eric's moving his arm that far.
wow. Boom.
Okay.
Bet. Bet. All right, make this a private thing right now.
And Conway's living up to his name. It's beautiful.
Yeah, right. You're gonna have to pixelate Eric and Laura's box, Ian. Is there a button for that you
Wait.
I don't know what.
He just
Like,
said
whoa,
Laura's
it's all
box.
blurry
I'm
in the
just
one
saying,
corner.
That just happened. No one missed it. We all heard it.
Well, nobody did it. You're supposed to do it. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Oh, the
Better
jump
now.
clap. Yeah, we need to get Ty back on to emphasize the jump claps. Troy just pulled the bottle off, and anytime he does, we want to know what
Well,
he's drinking.
Looks like
It's kind
new
of a
riff.
big deal. I just killed. I've drank this on here before, but this is a 2019 new riff. This is Ty's bottle that I've
No
had
way.
for. I've milked this for years, but
Nice.
tonight's the night it went down.
She's done.
I've been sharing your Mav riff with people as they come over. Everyone's enjoyed it so far.
That's very good.
Oh, great!
And-
Ian just cracked it last night.
I did. It's fantastic. Eric and Laura,
That
you guys were
sounds-
there with that. Yeah, weren't you?
They were like
Yeah.
the main people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
It-
There's only
It
five
was
of
just
us,
our
so
side
they're
of the table,
40%.
Troy. It was Laura, me, and Troy.
Everyone else dropped.
Yeah.
Or as I like to say, the decision makers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we
So
were
Troy,
the
maybe you-
good side of the table.
I distinctly
Yeah.
remember you saying at the table, Troy, can we all agree that C
That's how you pick a barrel. You have to eliminate the.
You got to limit the choices, or it's
That's a smart
confusion.
way to pick a barrel.
Yeah, but
We
it
do
was
that too.
silent until he yelled that. It was just
Well, I'd had a couple.
No kidding. No
Right.
kidding.
No, it
Troy,
is pretty.
Troy, tell us about your new resolution that you did before New Year's.
Oh. Yeah, well, actually, it was just like 2 days ago. I decided that I'm going to be a kinder, softer spoken tease. I feel like in the chat, like the text group, I don't want to say I'm a bully, but I don't want to be the boss of the group. Like I try to steer the conversation in a certain direction. And when we start talking, like say Clint wants to talk about Scotch a little bit, or Casey wants to put 19 pictures of brisket on there. or Lord forbid he's making a homemade knife or something, So I'll try to steer it back into a whiskey conversation or something that I know something about. But I
Or
feel like
throw some shade, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've been a bit of an ass. So I decided yesterday I was going to be better and just let you guys talk about whatever you wanted. But then, like I told you, I found out that leaves me with nothing to talk about. So
Like I'm just gonna have to leave the group.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I mean, so I actually wrote down like notes of like all 12 of us and like different things I want to talk about. And
this is fantastic.
no, they're really not very good. I really, these are the worst things. The one thing I thought was kind of funny is I thought like Clint was a bit of a Renaissance man. Like he's into so many cool things. Like he makes his own beer, you know, that's cool enough. He's into cigars and stuff, but it's like all before 8:30, because like after 8:30 he turns into a gremlin, you know. He's
yeah, yeah. I can't argue.
But
You'll be
I will
cool
say,
till
Clint, looking
8:30?
at the list of all of us guys, I did think you were one of the more interesting guys, because you're just first of all, you're of a cool generation, you know what I mean?
Well, that's right. That's
You're
right.
one of these whippersnappers.
That's right. All these youngins, they just don't get it yet. They'll get here someday. They'll get it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So anyway,
All right, Troy, keep going.
Yep.
Do
There's
Casey
one.
next.
Next.
Casey?
Yeah, Casey next.
Always just like, let's get to the dirt here.
Let's go.
Is he wearing skinny jeans? Because he better be wearing skinny jeans.
I don't think I'm looking. I actually have notes. Look, I have notes,
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
but I don't think I
Are
need
they
notes,
notes
for Casey.
about us? Are they notes
Yeah.
about people
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Texas?
Yeah, it's like what I want, like a 4-word synopsis of what I
Like a
my
haiku?
impression of each of you.
So what? First off, you said
Read
Clint,
my
but what are the
haiku.
4 words
Absolutely,
for
please
Clint?
read out of that book. I need that to complete my evening.
Read Laura's
For,
page.
all right,
Yeah,
it's
read mine.
like I just summarized for Clint. I wrote down for Clint, Renaissance man before 8:30 p.m.
Love it. That's his Twitter bio now. Just hand it over.
Well, it's gonna be a sticker, and it's
Yeah.
probably gonna be a shirt.
And like for Eric, his 4 words were girl, dad, nail salon. That's
There you
his
go.
4 words.
Okay, this is
Yeah,
all this
nail
week
salon,
then.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Painted
Because
some
like
nails
yesterday
last
he
night.
was clear coating and you know.
Yeah.
I got a text about glue and a broken nail.
Oh,
Notice it
broke
wasn't like
off.
Eric.
I
Laura
painted
seems nice.
It definitely doesn't say that in
Yeah.
there.
Can't keep her finger out of her ear.
I was
Well,
thinking that this earbud was starting to come out a little bit.
And
All
like
right, Troy.
Conway, I've got him down as like the king of the backhanded compliment. Like just this week alone, he's got me like 3 times. Like yesterday, he said something about, "I can't believe you don't like food pics," or "I thought you would like just say I'm a fat guy." You know? And then last week he's like, "Your wife's very pretty. Was it an arranged marriage?" You know?
That cut deep, didn't it, Troy?
Hey, what is wrong with that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a little bit. You're like, well, that was nice, and you're like, wait a minute. What do you mean you're surprised my wife is that good looking?
I mean, what did he expect? He probably thought I was married to some sort of ogre or something. You know what I mean? It's like Shrek.
Listen, even Fiona had a great personality. So
Yes,
just,
she was a nice lady.
what? Why am I getting the look?
All right, Troy, keep
You
going.
gonna touch your ear?
Well, I honestly did not write anything down for Casey, but my impression of Casey is like he's always going to one up you. Like, hey, I made barbecue ribs. And he's like, well, I made barbecued ribs of a unicorn that I cut with my own handmade knife.
I killed my own handmade knife.
It's served on a platter that I gilded from gold that I mined last week.
That I killed my own handmade knife.
Hey,
That's
you went
it.
to bed 10 minutes
That's
ago.
it.
So
You've reached the pinnacle of the show. That is the high point.
Oh my god.
Oh, Casey already signed off.
I think
but
he left.
he'll be back.
Yeah,
Don't
he
worry.
left a couple minutes ago.
Oh,
It'll be on the
back in a
T-shirt
minute.
we
Oh my
make
God.
for him next year for 12 Days of Christmas.
Oh my god.
All right. I'm going to need some more whiskey.
Yeah, that's what you need.
All right, Eric, we're going to drink the rest of your sample.
Okay.
Oh my
Can't
God,
wait
that was
for the
hilarious.
Limited edition run of
Unicorn
Flannel
ribs.
Panel T-shirts, Troy, with all these slogans on them. Like
Yeah.
this is gonna be gold.
Well, as I was writing these down, I did this like 10 minutes before the show, and I thought these all stink. So
Oh, no,
I'm glad you're
no.
enjoying them.
No.
Oh, way to humble brag. I
unicorn
just wrote all
ribs,
this
yeah.
funny stuff down. Just 5
because
minutes
I
ago, no
worry.
big
I'm a
deal.
little bit. I'm not trying to jump on the I've got problems train, but I'm just saying I get a little anxious about shit. And, so I usually write down notes so I'll have something to fall back on.
Oh my god!
Why do I look like an
Not trying
idiot?
to jump on the I got problems train.
What is the I got problems train, Troy?
You're the damn conductor, Troy, and we already knew it.
No, I don't want to talk about that. I got problems. Everybody's got problems. It's Christmas time. We're all freaking loaded down. Like poor Ian. I mean, he is ground zero for COVID. COVID hit him square in the face. I mean, the whole world
Yep.
stopped
And the nuts.
at Ian's house.
Over and over and over.
He got boxed water out of this.
I don't know anything about box water.
Well,
What's
Ian
boxed
does.
water?
Canadians got boxed water in little in little juice boxes.
What?
Well, you can get those.
honey.
Well, you can. Yeah.
You guys
Wait
have
a minute. We
canned
don't have
water.
boxes. Ever.
Right, because we're
Well,
not
there's that Ohio internet.
We don't have canned
Gotta
water
be.
either.
us.
Yes, you do.
Us
Yes,
or
you
them for
do.
you.
Liquid Death.
No.
We do not
I
have.
just want to
boxed
point out
water.
that Eric is in Pennsylvania. We take no credit for his internet.
Okay, Troy. Now that you refilled,
Also,
let's keep going.
Yep.
Andrew West is
Mm.
saying, "You're right. You're right."
It's a truth.
Yes.
And anytime we reference, anyways, we'll just stop there.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't know Laura was going to be surprised. I apologize.
Canned water, right there. Liquid Death.
Let me do Grease. He's on here. I can do
Okay.
Grease.
Dude,
I've only got 2 words for Grease. He's just like Mr. Unorganized. Like every night for 13 nights, we do a whiskey toast, and every night he forgets.
At the
And
same
then
time.
he hops on 10 minutes late. He can't find his sample, even though we've got these wheels. We finally get him his sample. He's like, shit, I ain't got a glass. You know, every fucking night.
Wait, whose dadgum night is it again?
Yeah.
Troy, I thought you were going to be nice with these things.
no.
That wore off.
Yeah.
That wore
It was
First
a
of
1 day
all,
thing.
Conway.
Shit, I ain't got
That
a
was-
glass. Is
Yeah, I don't know how the
perfect.
calendar works. It's still
I'm here. Oh
2022.
shit, I don't have a glass.
Conway, that was the longest 12 hours of my life yesterday.
Wrong with this. Not a
Trying to be nice.
God, yes. The yeah.
Okay, keep going. I want to hear
Yep,
Corey.
we're doing well.
Corey. Right. Let me find Corey. I just got him down. He's like a one-man band on Wamigo. That man does everything in town. He's either freaking running the radio station, he's hosting the fireworks, he's doing art shows, he's calling the football game. He's like the coach on. You ever watch the movie? This is an old person reference, but the movie Grease, where they had the one coach that coached every sport in the school. He was the track coach, the baseball coach, the football coach, the basketball coach. That's Corey.
It seems fairly positive. I think I'll take it.
Plus, I think he coaches
you're just
soccer.
being nice. I do.
Yeah,
So
they're
what's
not all
the-
mean. Corey,
What's
they're
And
not
now-
all mean.
now he's got a
negative
newspaper,
for
too.
Corey then.
Yeah.
A negative for Corey. Shit. Well, seriously, that's a 12-year-old haircut he's got.
I do have a 12-year-old there. Yeah. Accurate.
Says the guy who never takes off his hat.
Well, it's because I have no hair, you old son of a bitch. Look at that.
Hey, I'm not old.
That's for
The
Steven.
light makes my hair look like this. It's really dark brown.
You need to buy new bulbs. Okay. I think I've done.
Ian?
Will, I don't have anything
Ian?
bad to say about Will. I try to think of
Ian.
something bad to say about Will, but that man drove to Ohio and came in this basement and was part of the best drinking night of my life. So I've got nothing bad to say about him.
I'll allow it.
All right.
Did you read Laura's page?
Well, Laura doesn't even know my first name. She just calls me Ohio.
It's all right. I get garage guy, so
Radio guy.
This could be taken so many ways, Nat.
do me.
Oh, Jason. I didn't do Jason. Jason's the Salt Lake ambassador. He's kind of like the local. Like the whole time we're there, he's like a concierge. You know, like you just call him and like I'm kind of in the mood for like a empanada, and he's like, I know right where to go. You just drive straight there.
He may not take you there. He may detour at the last second. but-
Well, yeah, halfway there, unless he
Dan's
thinks
lot.
it's something else, like like squirrel, and then you turn.
All right. Do you have one for Nat?
Yeah. Let me think. I got it.
Because Nat's excited.
For Nat, I just wrote down like she's like kind of like a naughty chaperone. Like she's supposed something like one hand, I feel like she's like our chaperone, like she's kind of guiding our group. On the other hand, she's like, here, do another shot. You know what I mean? She's like kind of instigating and moderating at the same time. Does that
I
make
feel
sense?
like that's accurate.
That's very accurate.
Mrs. Robinson.
And Dustin, I didn't have much for Dustin. I have him down as kind of like a funny Southern hipster dude. You know what I mean? He's kind of like got the, like he looks like he should be in a band or something. You know what I mean?
That's where the skinny jeans, should be written
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
skinny
Dustin
jeans.
wears the skinny jeans.
Yeah, Justin.
He wears the hell out of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's everybody.
He can really
Ian?
fill out a pair of skinny jeans.
You got to do
throw me
Ian.
up there.
You got to do the Canadian.
Oh, Ian.
Yeah.
Well, I mentioned it. All I had down for Ian is then his is not funny or mean. It's just kind of sad. I just feel like poor Ian is taking the brunt of COVID. I had him down as ground zero for COVID.
Oh,
It's like everything bad about COVID hit Ian right in the face. His wife was working crazy, insane hours, and he's home with the kids and trying to work. He was working from home for so long and running this podcast, and he has been tired for 2 years.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
I have.
Now tell him you're sorry, Troy.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I
Not
hurt
you,
anybody's
Ian.
feelings.
No, I have to say I'm sorry, right? Isn't that the thing? That's actually my MO. I go to work and everybody's like, "How are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm tired," and they're like, "No kidding." You say it every day. What else is new? So
Yeah.
but I got to switch that January. I'll be. I'm not tired.
Well, until your girls go to college, I think you're gonna be tired.
Fair enough. Fair enough. My daughter turns 7 tomorrow. 7
So more years you're set.
or not, one or the other. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which way that could go, but yeah. Ainsley's gonna be 7. It's a big day. It's pretty cool.
What? That'd be cool.
So that's the whiskey family part of it, I guess you could say, of the 12 days. And you're done your new leaf. You've burnt the leaf, so you're back to the normal Troy. Is that what we're?
Oh,
Getting at
yes.
here.
And I just realized I didn't say anything about Ty, but I don't really have much for Ty. So he was pulling a little magic at the play tonight. He's at his daughter's play and he kind of made himself disappear and had a drink and then reappeared at the play. So
That was pretty
Troy's
magic.
just afraid that Ty would cast some sort of spell across the interweb.
Listen, his best magic trick is not having his wife kick his fucking ass for bailing out in the middle of the play for a drink and then going back in.
yeah, I think. Did I understand right?
I need to know how that magic
Yeah.
happens because let me tell you how that
I
would
mean,
go over.
Sometimes Laura, how did you like your children's concert tonight?
Well, the first 27 minutes were hell.
Listen, I recently went to a 6th grade band concert. Like
It was
first band
only
concert,
30 minutes long.
and it sounded like they were stomping the shit out of a flock of geese. But it doesn't matter. If I would have said, "Hey, I'm going to duck out of this for a few minutes and have a drink with my friends on Zoom,"
No,
Yeah, you can't do it.
I went to mine. My daughter was in one at 6 or whatever, and then
Yeah, mine was supposed to be there, but
she was
sick.
supposed to be in the same one. She was sick, and then after that was the next 2 grades, so she had to go to that one. So I didn't do both, and but she texted me and she was like, "How was her concert? Was it cute?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was great. Like, it's 5th grade school concert. Like, it was great." Yeah. And she's like, "This one sucks." I was like,
Kids have no talent.
Okay.
I literally thought that. I thought, what the everyone watching right now? This is what you've practiced all year for?
Listen, she can teach your kids songs. She can't teach them how to sing.
I'm a tough crowd.
You think?
There'll be no confidence issues
Laura
in my
was
family.
in the back of the.
Right.
She was in the back of the auditorium, just yelling, "Bring out the good kids!"
So Clint had a party recently.
Oh yeah.
We did. We did.
You sound so
We-
excited about it.
Well, I'm still tired from it. It was only
Oh.
4 days ago, and I'm still
How
exhausted.
late was it?
Uh,
9 o'clock.
7:30.
Yeah.
no, I think people left by about 11. It wasn't that
Okay.
bad, but it.
Clint was in bed, but they
I was
left
just gonna say,
around 11.
Clint thinks that because he was sound asleep.
No, I
That's
did
what
good.
someone told him.
I did good. Every year we have a Christmas party, and Karen likes to make it a costume party. So it's more of a costume party than a Christmas party. It's a costume party at Christmas time. That's what it is.
Mm.
And this year it was disco, so everybody looked ridiculous. She started playing disco music at it was like noon.
Dirt Diggler.
Cleaning the house and already had disco music going, and it never stopped. But it was fun. They're always a lot of fun. But every year I try to say, let's not do one. We're too busy. Let's not do it. Let's just skip one. Let's not do one.
You
And that
would
never
do that.
happens. We
That's,
do
a
it
Clint,
every
that's a Clint thing to do.
You're trying to cancel
Recognize
Christmas,
that?
Clint?
Is that something
Yes,
you would do?
absolutely.
That's not something
Troy.
I would do.
Yes.
That's something
Wow.
Clint would do.
They got a
That's
movie
called
like that,
pulling
The
a-
Cranks.
pulling a Clint.
But but then it ends up being it's a lot of fun, and it's family and some friends, and it's always a really
how I
good
feel.
time. It's just I'd like it to be at someone
I
else's
love
house.
family and
Would be
friends.
great.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So what did you dress up as?
I didn't get too dressed up. I was hoping to do some kind of a cool leisure suit kind of a thing, and I couldn't find one, so I just had to kind of wing it, and I got a wig,
Right.
sideburns,
Okay.
and then I just wore a Star Wars T-shirt with the original logo because that was 1977. That was it. So
I didn't dress up, but I put a wig on. Who wants to see Clint in a wig right now?
well,
I've
she
seen
put
pictures.
she put it on Facebook so the world can see it.
I know. Laura
Oh.
already told me.
Yeah.
If we could somehow
Also-
post that,
also
millions
just-
of viewers.
Fair warning now, Laura's already working on Karen to get us an invite next year. So
Oh, come on, just come
Yeah.
early and help me clean.
Fantastic.
Come on,
That goes for everybody. The whole world's invited. Yeah.
She would pack. She would shoulder to shoulder this place. She would pack it.
I believe it.
She didn't care.
Just have
She's all
Ty,
for it.
Ty doing some magic tricks there too. It'd be perfect.
No, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah, Karen would be
Karen does enjoy that.
freaking out.
I mean, I complain about it every year, but it's a really good time. She does a really good job. She puts tons of work into it, and everybody has fun. So it's always a good time. It's just the effort and then the exhaustion afterwards. That's gets
It was
me.
kind of
Who would've
fun to
guessed
see the
that
different
Clint was a
generations, though,
complainer?
that you had there with the grandparents, parents, little ones. It was kind of fun.
Yeah. We had, I don't know, maybe 76 or so down to 2 months old, and then really every block in between. So
I thought he had 76 people there, and I was like,
Oh,
I
God, no.
just turned around, and I'm now Team Clint. That's too many people in a house.
I don't know how many people it is. I bet it's 30 people,
7?
maybe.
30 is a lot in a house.
Yeah.
I'm Team Clint.
We don't have a big house. It's a lot of people. They're everywhere.
Even
yeah.
if you have a big house, 30 people's too. I don't like 30 people.
No?
No. that's
Yeah,
too
we
many
threw a party once. We used to throw a 1st of July party because 4th of July is always bonkers when we go. So we'd throw a 1st of July weenie roast, and it was a bring your own beer, but we would cook out hot dogs, and I would put out kiddie pools full of ice, and people would throw beers in there, and then it was just turned into community beer. That party got out of hand after a couple years. Like there were enough people. I brought in portable toilets to put in the driveway. That way
Oh,
people would
gosh.
not go in the house because
Yeah.
it would. Like at one point, Kim turned around. She's like, "How many hot dogs did you make?" And I was like, "We made 300 hot dogs." So
Wow.
yeah, there had to be there had to be 120, 130 people easy.
So Troy, what was your thing about Corey again?
He's like a one-man band over there in Wamego.
The- Yeah, running
director
everything.
of activities. For
He's got his hand in everything.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, one thing that I think is fun that she does is she'll try to find, usually last year we did 1920s, like a roaring 20s thing,
Yeah.
but she'll, depending on the theme, she'll look up cocktails that are easy to make. You know, those like 3-4 ingredient cocktails.
Yeah.
And she'll set up little signs with like the recipe and all the ingredients.
That's
and then
cool.
people can make their own cocktail.
Oh, that's very cool.
And that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I do like that. This year it was actually old fashions. I guess they got big in the 70s. And then some kind of a mule that had ginger in it. I can't remember exactly. I didn't even try it. I can't remember what it was, but it was pretty neat. I like what she
Was
did.
it
She does
vodka
that.
or bourbon based?
It was the mule was vodka based.
So Moscow.
Moscow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Troy's
But
favorite.
it had. I know she made a simple syrup, a special simple syrup for it. They went through 2 pitchers of it. Everybody liked it, so it was good. But
I
that's
can't make
kind
fun
a
of
neat thing that she
vodka.
does. I like that part.
Patty's discovered vodka tonics, and we buy it by the gallon now. And she thinks she likes Grey Goose, and I'm like, Tito's or Wheatley's is just as good and a lot cheaper, but it's hard for me to get her to
Wheatley's is very
cut
good.
back on vodka when I've got 900 bottles of bourbon sitting down
Yeah,
there. So
that's a lost argument,
she
right?
gets
there.
whatever
I prefer
vodka
Wheatley's
she wants
over
to.
Grey Goose.
Wheatley is very vanilla to me.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's what Karen uses for vodka
Yeah, I really
cocktails.
enjoy
Is the
Wheatley.
Wheatley's.
We don't
Patty is
see
a
it
Grey
often,
Goose
but-
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
bottle. That's like a Blanton's,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I try to explain it to her.
except they don't run out of it.
Right.
It's available.
I used to drink Grey Goose a lot.
I used to drink Fireball too. Let's not tell stories.
Oh my god! I touched the earbud. It's
She
coming
touched it?
out.
We're still on, so you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Keep touching it. Don't stop.
You touch it.
It was an accident. I went to move
Flick
my
it.
hair, and
See
then
what happens.
it did, and then it was like hanging there, and I was scared to touch it.
I enjoy the fact that the two of them don't realize that the mic still works even when they're not intentionally
No, I
talking to the
realize.
camera.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to understand my daily life.
Just yell.
Oh,
What
man.
happened the other day?
I'm not sure if we
And
can
I
put
said-
that on the internet.
And we had a little
we can, but it's
conversation
a
about it, and I
subscription-based
believe your end answer was, "There's just nothing that can be done about it."
About the cat?
I don't remember what it was about. It just doesn't.
Yeah, it was about the cat.
I think
Nothing
when
can
you
be done.
guys go off on these tangents, just yell sidebar.
That's a hell of an idea.
So Christmas is coming up. What are you excited for? Do you have a Christmas pour or something that you're excited to pour just on Christmas? If you're in the chat, throw one out there as well. What is a whiskey or beverage that you're excited to try for Christmas? What do you think, Conway? Do you have anything going on?
No, it's very quiet here. We've got my 2 sons and my wife and I, and that's it. We don't have any family coming in at all. So it'll be a relaxed piece. But this is going to sound stupid on a whiskey channel, but my wife will make hot chocolate and put it in a thermos, and we go and look at the Christmas lights and, drive around, and the kids make fun of me for an hour. So it's one of my favorite things.
Flannel channel, and that sounds very flannel.
Yeah, that's perfect, actually.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny when you
Also-
get to be the father that, there's nothing better when they're making fun of you. You go, it's kind of like, oh, I'm part of the group, Better than being
Are you
ignored.
turning into Clark Griswold as well? Because that's where I'm at in life.
Oh, yeah.
Are you?
My tree flew off the roof of the car, Ian. Did you not hear about that?
So
I missed
Off the
this.
roof.
I think we have a story.
Tree off.
On the highway.
On
We're not
a
driving out here to buy a
interstate.
tie, are we, Dad?
You're that guy?
The tree had road
No,
rash.
Audrey already have one of those.
We found a piece of a tire inside of it.
So, working at FedEx, they don't teach you guys anything about blocking and bracing?
What I did wrong was I didn't grab the strap and go, she ain't going anywhere. I didn't say that. And therefore, off the top she went.
Well,
he
I
is the
just
guy
looked
that
at
took
it,
out the
he
air
was
pump
kinda
at the
funny, and
gas
I was
station.
like,
That's true.
Yes, true.
what's that noise?
You did say that.
I was like, is that the Christmas tree? And he goes, yup, sure is. As it is like flying down the interstate, like zigzagging.
Interstate, not road, interstate.
Yeah.
Yeah, 70 miles.
I
an
wish I
hour.
would have taken more footage of that, but I was really I was shocked.
Yeah. That was fun.
So Jason, bringing it back a little bit. So technically, is everything drank on December 25th, Christmas in a glass? Because Jason
Yeah.
went on a rant a couple weeks ago about Christmas in a glass being a tasting note that he hated. And I think it's been something we've said almost every day since to him.
Said that.
So
Yeah, I always say that.
I felt that about your pour tonight, Eric. It felt kind of Christmassy with that.
No, I
cherry
wasn't
and
gonna say
whatnot.
it.
Yeah,
The pumpernickel one, I would have had to say it.
yeah.
Yeah.
We say
So,
that about midway.
I guess I didn't
Midwinter.
answer Ian's question about what we're drinking on Christmas, but I've got some family coming in, and my brother-in-law is a big rye drinker, and he comes in there, from out of state, but he drinks bullet rye. So a couple Christmases ago, I made the mistake of bringing a Kentucky Owl rye, and he drank 3/4 of that bottle.
Ooh.
So this year, I don't know. I'm bringing. I might bring him a High West or one of this Middle West or something cool, but something I can replace, kind of thing.
So what is it? What are you gonna pick?
Boy, I don't know.
Pick something.
Pikesville.
I'm going to bring this Middle West because they're still on the shelf. Like the High West, I got to go back to Utah. I can't get that.
I mean, that's not a bad thing, is it?
Those
No, it's just a long way. I didn't know how far away Utah was till I went there.
Middle West porridge are so good.
It was you went on a plane though. You didn't walk there.
Oh, yeah, I know, but the airport was big, Ian.
It is a long walk.
That is a big airport.
It is a long walk.
Fair enough.
I think we're gonna crack a 2XO on Christmas.
Oh, that's a
Are we?
great
Oh,
idea.
that's a good choice.
Yeah,
Smart.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think so.
well, that's just news to me.
Giddy up.
That's just in.
I knew you had a bottle today, but I didn't know.
That's a great idea. I don't think I have anything to pour. Like I have stuff. Maybe I'll do the Maverick. I opened that last night, but I think I might save that and pour the nice rye on Christmas. We'll see.
I will
That's a good
say
idea.
it's fantastic, but you let that thing get a little bit of air, and it is so much better,
All right. Well,
my opinion.
The most of the family that rolls in kind of like whiskey, but they don't chase it like I do. So we just do
Right.
around the world tour, right? So like the family that comes into town, it's like Disneyland downstairs for them. So they just like pour all kinds of shit, and it's pretty fun. You'd think that I'd run out of booze doing that, just turn on free for all, but they don't drink enough of it, so they all end up, that lasts for about 45 minutes, and then they're pretty well
Nice.
cashed out. So it's fine, but it's pretty fun.
That is fun.
I did that with my son's friends at the 4th of July. He had a bunch of friends over, and I brought about 10 of them down to the basement and just did like a tasting. And yeah, they had never tried like Weller Antique, so that was a treat for them. And so
Yeah.
and Blanton's and they all drank. I poured 8 ounces of whiskey total, and
Yeah.
so it was no big deal.
So
That was
is
a
kind
hero.
of that is a fun thing to be able to do. So last week I was in Colorado the whole time, and I had one of my teams that was there for a project we were doing. So after I'd sneak away and do the 813, and then have a quarter of a bottle left or whatever, or half bottle left. So I poured it to the guys to let them sample at the end of it, and it was kind of fun just to see the guys that wouldn't normally spend money like that on these kind of bottles to get to experience it. I think it was a lot of fun for them too.
that's cool.
For sure.
Clint, you got anything you're gonna pour for Christmas?
I don't think I usually end up doing anything special whiskey wise. We end up drinking eggnog with rum in it and stuff a lot. So then I end up just being on a rum kick for the day, more so than whiskey. And I don't have nobody that comes over drinks whiskey. I have Karen drinks it a little bit here and there, but it's not her first go to. I have one son that drinks it, but we don't like the same things at all. So like I don't have like Corey said, you guys said, family comes over and we're gonna bust this open or whatever. I have nobody to share it with. So it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to have a special pour when it's just me. So
I feel like you'd be the guy on Christmas that's like, okay, guys, I need an hour, and you take your cigar and your pour, and you go to the pool or whatever, and
I just wander into my office and
is that it?
yeah, come back, a little
So
late.
is
Where
the-
were you?
Is
Well,
that like a heavy glass of Wild Turkey 101, or is that a really good pour?
See, it'll be. Gosh, it kind of depends. I guess early on, like I'll have the idea. Okay, I'm gonna have something good for Christmas, not something good on Christmas, and then that first pour might be something not special, but something I don't touch very much because I don't want it to go away. But then after that, the day starts, it gets going. They bust out the eggnog and all that sort of thing, and then it ends up, the day just goes, and that's it. So nothing real special.
All right.
Kind of boring, but nothing special.
I get that. Well, Troy, I think it's your favorite time of the episode.
Oh,
I'm
shoot.
not prepared.
It's time for just the tips.
Just the tips. Welcome to my world, Clint. It's
Yeah. Welcome to your world with just the tip.
well, Clint said he's not prepared, so I'm just thinking.
Oh, I see.
I do have one this week. It's a little weenie.
It's a what?
It's kind of a. I'm not sure if it's cool or weenie. All right, I'll go. My daughter is home from college, and I asked her, what's cool right now? Do you got anything to recommend? And she did not. The only thing she told me was, so I watched the first episode of Wednesday tonight. Have you guys followed that at all or know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Adam's Family, right?
Adam's Family. Who's the director? The Burton dude.
Tim Burton?
Tim Burton, yes.
All right.
So it's like an 8-episode series on Netflix, and I watched the first episode right before the show, and it seemed cool enough. I think it's worth a watch, but I'll let you know more next week.
That's the biggest mail-in just the tip ever.
Really?
I think so.
Worse than the freaking step-on light switch for the Christmas
No,
tree?
that was a good one. That's a legit one.
Oh, wow.
It was just 20 years old.
Well, yeah, I'm behind the time. Damn.
Nobody roasted Troy tonight. He kind of threw out the roast
No.
for everybody. So
I'm just the Tommy Boy fat guy of the group.
What'd you do?
What did you do? So we started like getting mega into the Christmas music here at Casa del Reeves over the past week or so. And so I love old Christmas music significantly more than new Christmas music, right? So it's been all like Elvis and Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and all of that stuff.
Yes.
And I love all that, but there's a compilation record called Soul Christmas, and if you don't know it, find it. And it's all like Clarence Carter and King Curtis and Booker T and the MGs and stuff. Like, it's really cool. So it's the kind of Christmas stuff that will it'll give you street cred because it's old school soul music, but it's also just like the best ever. So if you can go find Soul Christmas, like, yeah, that hits in a way that some of the other Christmas stuff doesn't hit. So
Is that something that's like Alexa?
oh yeah, you can find it on like Apple Music or wherever else at this
Apple
point now.
Music.
So it was
Okay.
so it's all individual songs that were never released together that I think Rhino Records or somebody in the 90s put it together as like a compilation record. They also did a Motown Christmas that's got like Jackson 5 and Ray Charles and a bunch of stuff on it. So I mean there's some cool versions, but Soul Christmas is, you'll see it. It's like a green album cover.
Okay. I'm gonna check that out.
yeah.
I like Corey's tip.
That's right. It's right in your ear.
So what's really fun is Laura didn't know that you did this, so now she has to come up with just the tip. So
Ooh.
All right.
Everybody lean in.
Is it my turn now?
I mean, it
can
doesn't
be.
have to be.
Yes.
Somebody else can go.
It's my turn right now.
No, like somebody
Yeah.
else can go.
Somebody else can get their
Wow.
tip in, and then
Somebody else can put their tip in, and
then we can come back.
you
for-
follow afterwards. It's like a fraternity.
Oh boy.
Well, nobody's volunteering for the tip. That seems our way
I
of
think
being
I just like it when someone else has to also
do all the
put
work.
up with the nonsense.
Well, if I have to give a tip,
We're
What
live. We're live.
say is when you're inserting the earbuds, make sure they're properly in your hole because they fall out, and then you have to pick them like up with your fingers.
And you
and
hang
then
up on all your friends.
On your friends.
Yeah, that's it.
So you have to make sure that that's properly inserted.
Yeah, make sure you insert it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proper hole fittage is a big thing. Yeah.
Proper hole fittage.
Okay.
Fittage. I don't even know if that's a word.
Fittage.
Isn't
It's
that
a
what they
technical
played in
term.
Harry Potter?
Yeah.
I think it's Harry Potter-ish. Yes.
Oh, that's Quidditch.
Oh,
It's
fair
already
enough.
dropped out
Yes.
once.
It did drop out one. Okay. Who didn't
Clint?
do a tip? Conway. Quinn?
Okay, I got one. We had to. You're talking about your daughter's 7th birthday tomorrow. Well, today we booked the wedding shower venue for my youngest kid.
Oh, wow.
So a little different, but they're going to do a slideshow and they want to put of my daughter and her fiance's through their lives, pictures. So I had to go through. We have this Rubbermaid tub full of actual photographs because we're old. It's not all on our phones. So I looked on the computer to find pictures of her when she was small, and it doesn't really go earlier than 2010. So she was already 10. Like, well, how am I going to find little kid pictures? I had to bust out the giant tub. So anyway, I spent some time going through a tremendous amount of pictures, and it's fun when you go looking through, you're reminiscing about, you find this family and watching your kids and all that stuff. So I think the tip would be to do that. Take some time to slow down and kind of reminisce, and whether it's when your kids were little or maybe when your relationship was new, before the kids or whatever.
Good.
We found a lot of those kind of pictures too. Just we've been together since high school, so there's pictures of us together. We were 17 years old, and now we're not. So that was really fun and relaxing to go through that. So if I could turn that into a tip, it would be to spend some time to think about all the stuff that's happened, because
I have a question.
It does go fast.
I have a question based on that, because you were able to go through physical pictures to check all that. Modern day is just swiping your phone down.
Yeah.
So, as a wise soul, what do you recommend for new generation or newer generation people to do? Would you print out photos so you have that option, or what do you suggest?
There's a middle section there. There's having them saved on your computer. I would get them off your phone and at least get them in a file on your computer where you can click through, the image on your computer, not on the phone.
Do you think it's the same feeling as the physical photos when you're looking at a screen?
I would say definitely not. But then maybe that's because, of my age. I'm more, but I would say definitely not. Having the actual photograph that's fun.
Yeah.
End of the year, Ian, is there just a tip too? Just double tipping. Sneak over to something like Shutterfly or something like that, and build a book out of your favorite 100 pictures and print it and stick it on the shelf,
like the Apple books do, right?
Yeah. And do it at the end of every year.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Because you'll lose a hard drive or phones crash or whatever, and then no one has books or not as many books on shelves, but if you have a bookshelf full of books as your kids grow up or vacations or whatever, that's pretty cool, and those are pretty cheap.
And you're not leaving your phone sitting on the shelf for someone to grab and do it, but when you have people over and you've got those books there, they pick them out, they're looking through it, and they kind of force that discussion and that memory.
Tangible, right? Actually feeling
super
something.
cool.
Analog. Make it analog for a little while.
Yep. Absolutely.
Clint, with you talking about
tip, Clint.
with you having a son-in-law, this might affect you. I was listening to a podcast today with Wayne Gretzky, and he said that on the golf course, and I've never heard this before, but when you hit a bad shot, you call it a son-in-law because it's not what you intended.
Ah.
Was that the subpar?
I'm going to use it
Which
now.
one was
Does
that?
that work for Wayne Gretzky? Wasn't his son-in-law like Dustin
Dustin
fucking Johnson or
Correct.
something
Yeah.
like that? Right?
Correct. Correct.
Although he did go to live, but yes.
So okay, on that same piece, so the podcast is Will Arnett, Jason Bateman,
oh,
and
Smartless.
yeah, Smartless.
Yes.
And at one
I did
point,
miss-
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Gretzky talks about, and every time he mentions it, he's got Dustin saying "sir." So Jason Bateman goes, "Am I to understand that he calls you sir?" And he goes, "Oh, he's really polite." And Will Arnett goes, "I'd like it if Jason called me sir." And immediately Jason goes, "Well, I'm not sleeping with your daughter."
Yeah. That's a great
Yeah,
podcast.
That's a great podcast.
I
Yeah,
like that
that's
one
not my
as well.
tip, but it is a great podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, and Kim is here. I just saw
Hey,
this.
Kim.
Kim, we are blown away with your talents all behind us right now with these 12 days. And
Oh yeah, Kim, I've got Advent calendar business coming your way for next
Yeah.
year. It is
Yeah.
happening. Oh yeah, these
So-
are amazing.
welcome. Conway, do you have a just the tip beyond Smartless? Because that's a good one as well.
So really simple. There's a card game called Cover Your Assets. It's super simple. We play it with the kids, and it's something you can do, and everyone's laughing and joking. There's not a lot of mental capacity taken, so it's just an opportunity to sit around the table and make fun of each other and tease each other and be combative. So highly encourage it. It's a really simple one. It's fun.
Cover your assets.
Yeah.
All right. Eric?
I thought I just gave Laura mine.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
no.
Laura's, anyways.
It's like always make sure the
Yeah.
earbud gets all the way in.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm actually gonna piggyback on just the whole not the assets thing. Take time to play board games and have that board game interaction is different than just everything else that you do with your family and your kids and stuff. And I feel like I know for as long as they're not listening, right? A lot of board games I bought for Christmas and stuff. I feel like that's just a lot of good memories are made when you're just playing stupid board games that you bought at Walmart. So that's my tip.
Nice.
I love it. I'm gonna jump off that too. You guys all kind of went to a tangible, like real thing, and it's funny because we're virtual right now and
Yeah.
fairly spread apart.
That is kind of crazy, actually.
But I will say, Troy, you kind of inspired this with your list and just kind of roasting everybody to a degree. Find people that you can do that with. Have some fun with people. Just enjoy life with people because it's special. Have a Troy in your life that can, kind of shoot you down a little bit or knock you down a couple rungs and have some fun with you. Have some, people that'll lift you up and just be tangible and be real. Because life is challenging and we can definitely benefit from everyone. And I've noticed that a lot within this 12 days group. And I'm really thankful for that whiskey family that's in the title and it's a special thing. So that would be my just the tip.
Right. Listen, if I don't give you shit, we're acquaintances, not friends.
100%. Yeah. Yes. And that's over an hour. We
did it.
We knocked this one out, and I said out. Did I say out Canadian enough for you guys?
Oh yeah.
A little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I kind of recognize that now. I'm like, oh, we'll see. But yeah,
We'll
Troy,
be on next week.
we will be
8:30 Central Time.
boot. It's 9:30 Eastern. But Troy, you wanna say a toast or something to end the show?
Sure.
You drank a fair bit. I think you're primed and ready.
I got just a little wee bit left. So I hope you guys know that I love you all, and I was just, roasting you in jest, and you guys are my buddies, and hope there was no hard feelings. So,
Of course not.
I'll probably cry myself to sleep on my wee little pillow, but
okay. All right. Well, cheers, everybody.
Until
Yeah,
next
you
time,
Oh yeah.
stay buttoned up.
stay buttoned up. Cheers, everyone.
Rappers.